Good afternoon from Crestwood, Illinois, and welcome to today's University of St. Francis baseball doubleheader against Olivet Nazarene University. Terry Bonadonna with you on the call for this afternoon. A sunny and beautiful but very cold Saturday afternoon, 36 degrees showing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin today's game. St. Francis comes in with a record of 14-17 overall, but a very strong 8-4 in the conference. Olivet Nazarene slightly better overall at 17-13, but a half game behind the Fighting Saints in the conference standings. Olivet is 7-4. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First for the visiting Olivet Nazarene Tigers, who will bat first in this game. Leading off is the right fielder, Tanner McLean. Batting second and playing center field, R.W. Reno. The number 3 hitter is left fielder Curtis Minton. Ben Hill bats cleanup and does the catching. At third base, Sam Kippen. Hitting sixth, first baseman Jacob Boltice. Batting seventh is the second baseman Nathan Moonen. Hitting eighth, pitcher Graham Burke. And batting ninth, the shortstop Ryan Campbell. On the hill for St. Francis today, right-hander Kevin Mampy, whose first pitch is lifted out to shallow center field. Pat Mahalik comes in, makes the catch. One pitch, one out. We're off and running here in Crestwood today. 1:03 as we begin today's game. And a good start for Kevin Mampy, who has struggled at times on the mound this season. Trying to get back to his 2017 form today in a big conference matchup against Olivet. Saints come in 5th in the conference, Olivet 6th. Again, just a half game behind. Both teams over the 500 mark. Here's R.W. Reno taking the first pitch for strike one. Kevin Mampy on the season as a pitcher. He's 3-3 with a 6.0 ERA. This is his 9th start of the season. The 0-1 pitch. Reno takes a strike over the outside corner very quickly. 0-2. Mampy in 8 prior starts has 2 complete games, 42 innings pitched. He's allowed 30 runs, 28 of them earned on 52 hits with 44 strikeouts and 14 walks. Looking for strikeout number 45 right here. Swing and a miss, and there is strike 3. Ball dug out of the dirt by Kevin Rada, who throws on down to first and picks up the second out. Nice work to start this game by Mampy on just 4 pitches. He's recorded 2 outs and has a strikeout thrown in there as well. Here's Curtis Minton. Curtis Minton, a .313 batter on the season. No homers out of the number 3 spot in the order, 16 RBIs. Right-handed batter. First pitch from Mampy, also a righty. Taken for ball 1. First ball thrown by Kevin Mampy in this first inning on his 5th pitch of the contest. Wind is blowing slightly out, but not so much that it should make a difference today. Ball outside, 2-0, and with this freezing cold weather, one would think it'll be hard to get the ball over the fence on a day like today. So I don't think home runs are going to play a big factor in this one. 2-0. And that pitch comes in at the knees. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike on Minton. Saints around the field have Sean Harper in left, Pat Mahalik in center, Travis Schoonover in right field. In the infield from third to first, it's Carraro, Quirum, Reardon, and Farron. There's a strike. It's 2-2. You've met the battery of Kevin Rada catching and Kevin Mampy pitching, the all-Kevin battery. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Mampy's delivery. Over the outside corner, strike 3 call. Nice work by Mampy to get things started today. We'll head to the bottom of the first inning. 1-2-3 go the Tigers, and we've got no score. Graham Burke gets his warm-up tosses in here as we begin the bottom of the first inning. Let's take a look at the starters for the Fighting Saints. Leading off is right fielder Travis Schoonover. Pat Mahalik bats second and plays center field. The pitcher Kevin Mampy holds up the 3 spot in the batting order. Hitting cleanup, first baseman Anthony Farron. Kevin Rada starts behind the dish. Hitting 6th, shortstop Michael Queerum. Sean Harper hits 7th and plays left field. John Reardon is at second base, and batting 9th, the third baseman Noah Carraro. The starting pitcher for Olivet Nazarene is right-hander Graham Burke, making his 8th start and 10th appearance of the season. He's 5-3 this year with a 5.3 ERA. 37 1/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 24 runs, 22 of them earned on 31 hits, 36 strikeouts, 16 walks, and ready to go, facing Schoonover, the sophomore outfielder, to begin the bottom of the first inning. Right-hander winds up and delivers, and Schoonover swings through the first one for strike 1. Travis Schoonover off to a sensational start to his sophomore campaign. In 31 games, he's hitting .347, 13 extra base hits, including a team-leading 5 homers. He's driven in 25, and he hits this one in the air, shallow left field. Backing up is the shortstop Ryan Campbell, called off by the left fielder Curtis Minton, who can't make the play. The ball drops between them, and it's a leadoff double for Travis Schoonover. Well, he'll take the hits any way he can get them. That's his 8th double of the season, also a team high, or rather second on the team with those 8 doubles. Shouldn't have been a double off the bat, but beggars can't be choosers. You get a pop up to left field, they end up on second base, you're not going to whine about it. Easy play for Curtis Minton. I don't know that the wind played a huge factor. Maybe the sun did. Very clear blue sky, not a cloud in sight. Maybe he just lost it in the sunlight. And it drops a few feet to Minton's left. So Pat Mahalik stands in with a man at second base and nobody out. Mahalik squares up to bunt, pushes it down the third base line. Nicely done. Picked up cleanly by Sam Kippen. He throws to first, and it's not in time. With nobody covering second base, Mahalik took a hard turnaround first, looking at second, but it was picked up by Ryan Campbell. The shortstop went over to cover the bag and make sure he had to stay at first, but Mahalik is aboard with a bunt single. How about that? A little pop-up to shallow left and a bunt down the third base line. And the Saints have a pair of hits and runners at the corners with nobody out for their pitcher, but one of their better sluggers as well, Kevin Mampy. Mampy, the number 3 hitter. Chance to drive in some runs here. He's got 22 RBIs this year. 343 hitter with 5 homers. Ball outside, 1-0. Mampy is the reigning CCAC Offensive Player of the Week. If you'd like to duplicate that honor this week, now would be a good time to come up with a hit. 9 doubles, a triple, 5 home runs on the resume for Mampy, the best slugger by percentage this season. Ground ball foul, third base side. It's 1-1. And Mampy, regardless of what happens in this at-bat, is already off to an impressive start in this game. He threw a 1-2-3 first inning on the mound with a pair of strikeouts. He's enjoying the cold weather today. Doesn't even have long sleeves. He's got the brown undershirt, but only halfway down the arm. Shirt is cut off right around the elbows. It's not even quite a 3/4 length shirt, more a 2/3 length shirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball high, 2-1. The time shows on the scoreboard here at the ballpark in Crestwood, and the time right now is 1:11 p.m. I wish there were 1 out just a moment ago when it was 1:11 with 1 ball and 1 strike. Couldn't quite get 6 ones across the scoreboard. Here's the 2-1 to Mampy. High pop-up, shallow right field, down the line. Chasing it into foul territory is Tanner McLean. The right fielder cannot come up with it. And now a hard collision into the padded wall down that right field line, and he's still down on the ground. Hopefully Tanner McLean is all right. Took a very awkward lunge into that wall. I'm not sure if he tripped. The bullpen is situated down the right field line at this ballpark. And it's always a bit of a danger when you're running down there. You have to watch out for that hill. I don't think he was on the hill. Looks like he's about 10 feet or so shy of the bullpen. So I don't think he took an awkward step off of that, but he did take an awkward step somewhere. And it looked like he went face first into the wall. It is a padded wall, but even with padding covering it, doesn't feel all that good to run into it. Count is now 2-2 on Kevin Mampy. Hit that pop up to right field, foul territory. McLean had a chance to make the play. The ball did stay on the field of play, didn't reach the seats, but it was near that sideline wall. And McLean never really slowed down. He was going hard after the ball the whole way. I'm not sure that he didn't recognize where the wall was as much as he just wasn't able to stop himself in time. Looked like he took an awkward step at one point, may have stumbled slightly. So I don't think he hit the wall at full speed. But again, it's still not terribly comfortable to run face first in that wall, even if you're not at full speed, even if it is padded. So he's still down over there being looked at by the Olivet Nazarene coaching and training staff. Olivet head coach Todd Reed is down there, along with the trainers. McLean ran into the wall, fell to the ground, and he's been down ever since. Right now he's got both of his legs up slightly and is moving around, but still lying on his back. So we will wait before we're able to continue this one. Situation in the game at the moment, St. Francis has runners at the corners with nobody out. And an auspicious offensive start for the Fighting Saints, an auspicious pitching start as well, as Kevin Mampy pitched a 1-2-3 top half of the first inning with a pair of strikeouts. Saints came up in the bottom of the first and looked like they should have two quick outs, but Travis Schoonover, who popped up to left field, ended up on second base with a double as the ball just dropped right to the left. The left fielder Curtis Minton wasn't able to make the play on it as he maybe lost it in the sun, perhaps misjudged the wind, and the ball didn't land where he expected it to, but it looked like a routine play. He wasn't able to make the grab. And the next batter up was Pat Mahalik. He dropped a bunt down the third base line, just looking for a sacrifice, but as Sam Kippen picked up the ball rather cavalierly and threw it on over to first, he wasn't in time. It was an infield hit. Well, good news for Tanner McLean. He's up and walking around. They are going to take him off the field. I should say he's going to walk off the field. Anytime a player's been down with an injury and you say that he's been taken off the field, it sounds like maybe he's had to be carried, or it could be worse than it is. But no, he was up on his own, walking around, and he walked off the field. There is a door down the right field line. In fact, just a couple of feet away from where he crashed into that wall. There's a door that leads to the umpire's room and a hallway towards the visitors' locker room, or rather the home locker room. And so he walked out that way. He is off the field now, and the coaches and trainers walking back to their positions. Now we'll just await the word on who the new right fielder is and see him take his position. Graham Burke has been warming up on the mound. Been about a 5-minute delay here, so he's trying to stay fresh. Kevin Mampy likewise, the batter, who again is not wearing long sleeves despite game time temperature of 34 degrees. Is taking a few practice swings off to the left of home plate, try to make sure he stays engaged in the game while this injury situation is taken care of. The new player has headed out to right field. As soon as I get a number on him, I'll let you know. Tanner McLean is hopefully all right. He crashed into the wall, was able to get up on his own and walk off the field on his own despite being down on the ground for several minutes. And he is done for this game. This is a doubleheader, so depending on the severity of the injury, there's still a chance we could see him later today in game 2 of the doubleheader. Hard to see the number on the new right fielder. They have light gold numbers on the front of the gray jerseys. Very difficult to read from this distance. So when he comes in, running back towards the dugout at the end of the inning, I'll try to catch that again. But we are ready to continue with a new player out and right. Same count on Kevin Mampy. 2-2, 2 on. Nobody out, no score. Mampy takes ball 3 high, and the count is full. So a delay of about 6 minutes there. Not too bad. And it looks like Tanner McLean, well, things at least could be worse for him. After running straight into the wall, he was able to get up and walk off the field on his own. Full count pitch to Kevin Mampy. Swung on, driven out to deep left field down the line, but that's a fair ball, and it's going to skid down into the corner. This will score 1 run easily. Pat Mahalik around third base, and he'll score as well as Mampy stands up at second base. A 2-run double puts the Saints on the board first. For Kevin Mampy, double number 10 this season. RBIs 23 and 24. And Mampy off to a sensational start to this game. Can't really beat this first inning that he's had. A double and 2 RBIs at the plate. A pair of strikeouts and a 1-2-3 inning on the mound. Still nobody out as the first 3 batters have all reached for the Fighting Saints in this game. And here's the first baseman, Anthony Farron. Farron's a .343 hitter. Looking for an RBI right here. He takes ball 1 low. .343 average, 26 RBIs. He's got 6 doubles. He and Kevin Mampy came into play today with identical .343 batting averages. Both men had gone 37 for 108 at the plate. Tapped foul, 1-1. Mampy, of course, is now 38 for 109. Farron trying to join him in that territory. One ball and 1 strike, still nobody out. Farron is the 4th batter of the inning. Only 11 pitches thrown so far by Graham Burke. He's been hit early in the count. Officially, the Tigers have been given 2 errors for the inning. And Farron is hit on the shoulder by the 1-1 pitch, so he'll take first base. Mampy at second, Farron at first. 4 straight men have reached base, and the batter is Kevin Rada. Schoonover popped up on an 0-1 pitch, lead off the game. I called it a double at the time. It was credited as an error for Curtis Minton on a ball he certainly should have caught, but misplayed out in left field. Pat Mahalik was credited with a sacrifice bunt and reached on an error rather than an infield hit. Mampy's double was unquestioned. Kevin Rada takes a pitch in the dirt. Nice block by Ben Hill. Count is 1-0. Farron hit by the pitch. 1-1 count. He's at first base right now. So the double play is in order for Olivet on anything hit on the ground. Forces at first, second, and third base. Kevin Rada stands in with a 1-ball, no strike count. And he takes a pitch over the inside corner for a strike. 1-1. Kevin Rada this season hitting very well. .317, 4 homers, 24 RBIs. Really stepped in nicely to that starting catcher's role. Junior from Venezuela pops it foul and out of play to the right side. 1-2. Originally from Venezuela, but did his preparatory schooling in Florida. Playing college ball in Joliet, Illinois, and looking to drive in a run or 2 right here, but he's behind in the count. 1-2. And he's behind in the count 1-3 as he strikes out on a pitch in the dirt. He takes off for first, but with Anthony Farron already occupying the bag, no throw from Ben Hill is necessary. It's a strikeout for Burke, his first of the day. For Graham Burke, that is strikeout number 37 in 38 innings this season. Here's Mike Queeram. Queeram, who's had a really nice run his last few times out as a pitcher, will not be pitching today. He's the second leading hitter on the team, though, at .346. Granted, in only 52 at-bats, but still a strong start to the year. 4 doubles, a triple, 8 RBIs. Fouled straight back off the screen. Strike one on Quirum. Sixth batter of the inning and still just one out. St. Francis has 2 runs on the board, courtesy of Kevin Mampy's double RBI double. The 0-1. Burke takes a long look back at second base and out of the plate. Strike called. It's 0-2. I'll give him this. He's done a nice job of getting ahead of hitters. Prior to this at bat, he had thrown 3 consecutive first pitch balls. However, against the first 5 batters, only one of them saw more than 1 ball in a single at bat. So he's been a strike thrower in the early going. Problem is some of those strikes have gotten hit. This one is hit, but into foul territory to the right side and over the St. Francis dugout, out of play. Despite the success of St. Francis this inning, though, there really only has been 1 hard hit ball. So to some extent, Graham Burke can take solace in that fact. Mampy's double was roped down the left field line, but Schoonover reached on a botched pop-up and Mahalik on a bunt. Farron, who's at first base right now, was hit by a pitch. Ball outside, 1-2. Good at bat here for Michael Quirum, trying to keep the rally going with only 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. St. Francis today trying to win their 2nd consecutive game. They beat Trinity International right here on this field on Wednesday. Strike 3 called over the outside corner, 2 down. Back-to-back Ks. 1 swinging, 1 looking. And Burke is 1 out away from getting out of this big jam. Sean Harper, the last hope for St. Francis. Harper's a .248 batter with 9 RBIs this season. Just a .287 slugging percentage. But a simple base hit could get a run in on this at bat. First pitch, Burke to Harper. Chopper to the left side. Charging it is the shortstop Ryan Campbell. He flips over to second and gets the force there. 6-4 on the fielder's choice. Saints are out in the first inning, but not before they score a pair of runs on a big Kevin Mampy double. He is left at second and Farron at first, but as we head to the second, it's 2-0 St. Francis. Top half of the second inning here. St. Francis 2, Olivet Nazarene nothing. Kevin Mampy has a 2-run double, and he's also got a 1-2-3 inning on his resume today. He'll throw the second inning here, facing the middle of the Olivet order. Ben Hill, Sam Kippen, and Jacob Bultice.
The catcher, number 2, Ben Hill.
Ben Hill, right-handed hitting backstop, leads things off. Swings to the first pitch, grounds it up the middle, ranging to his right. Reardon gloves it near second base, throws to first. Beautiful pick by Anthony Farron for out number 1. That was a heck of a defensive play by actually both ends of that 4-3 put out. Reardon had to range a long way to his right, really didn't have time to set his feet before making a strong throw to first base. With Hill chugging down that line, Reardon had to throw quickly, so he was slightly off balance, bounced it in, and Farron made a really nice pick to secure the out. One pitch, one down in the second, just as was the case in the top of the first inning. Now it's Kippen taking ball one up high. Sam Kippen, third baseman for Olivet Nazarene, sophomore from Syracuse, New York. Takes the ball and the count is 2-0. Rare hitters count against Mampy here. Kevin Mampy really off to a strong start. Throwing strikes through just 9 pitches, but recorded 2 strikeouts in the first inning. Next pitch misses, and the count is 3-0. Sam Kippen hitting .295 for the season, and he takes a strike. Olivet as a team is actually batting .310 overall this season. There's ball 4 low. And it's the first base run of the game for Olivet Nazarene. 1-out walk issued to Sam Kippen in front of Jacob Bultice. .310 batting average, .403 on base percentage for an entire team. Pretty impressive. You see a guy like Sam Kippen come up batting .295, .438 on base, .432 slugging. You think this is a pretty darn good hitter, and he's actually below the team average in 2 of those 3 categories. 1 out, 1 on. Bultice the batter. He swings the first pitch and bloops it foul to the right. Strike 1. Jacob Bultice is a freshman, local kid from Tinley Park, Illinois. He's a big one, 6 feet 5 inches tall, just 195 pounds. No homers for the freshman yet, but he does have 3 doubles and 14 RBIs to go along with his .330 batting average. Runner at first takes a short lead. Mampy pitches from the stretch. The 0-1 is fouled away into the seats right side. It's 0-2. First meeting of the season between these 2 teams. They were supposed to duel yesterday in Bourbonnais. That game was postponed because of weather. There's unfortunately been a lot of that going around. The fact that it's 35 degrees right now is a pretty good indication of why there have been so many postponements early on in the CCAC season. Ball outside, 1-2. Figure you start the year going down south where it's warm, come back late March, and you hope that by that point the bad weather is mostly behind you and you can get some baseball games in relative comfort. 1-2 to Bultice. And he takes the ball low and away. It's 2-2. 2-0 is the score. St. Francis leads Olivet in the top of the second. You always figure when you're playing a schedule through late March and then throughout the month of April, you're going to get a fair number of games that are affected by weather, either in terms of the games having to have been postponed or canceled, or just the games being a little uncomfortable, as is the case today. But you don't necessarily expect it to happen with the frequency that it has this year. Chopper down the third base line, and that's foul. I think that hit off the foot of Bultice in the batter's box, so even if it hadn't kicked wide of the line, it was dead pretty much right off the bat. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Bultice will see a 6th pitch. In the month of April this year, we have not had a single nice day yet. The same really can be said about late March. A lot of cold weather. Foul back, still 2-2. Really hasn't even been a lot of rain. It's been mostly cold and some snow. Game on Wednesday here between St. Francis and Trinity International was a 3-0 Saints win. Game that went under 2 hours because it was so cold. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The runner goes and steals second without a throw. Bultice is the 3rd strikeout victim of Kevin Mampy today. Kippen into second base with a steal, but there are 2 outs as the second baseman Nathan Moonen stands in. First runner to reach scoring position for Olivet. 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. Nathan Moonen is batting .241 this year with 13 runs batted in. He takes ball 1 upstairs. There was pretty consistent snow on Wednesday. St. Francis defeated Trinity International 3-0. One of those days you figured would be a pitcher's duel, and it was. Ball outside, 2-0. So cold and snowy, a lot of guys were just swinging at the first pitch. Just keep that blood flowing, get out of the batter's box and do a little running. Today the temperature is just about the same, but the sun is out today. Makes all the difference. 2-0 and in the dirt. 3 balls and no strikes. Mampy has walked 1 this inning, trying to avoid number 2. Man on deck is Carter Ferguson. There's a strike, 3-1. In the original lineup, it was Graham Burke hitting 8th, batting for himself as pitcher, but we were told before the game that maybe Olivet would have liked to use a DH instead, and that's apparently the case with Ferguson waiting in the on-deck circle, and he's going to come to bat with 2 men on base. Ball 4 on Muniz. He takes low, 2 on, 2 out, and Ferguson gets his first chance to hit today. Carter Ferguson, freshman out of Sparta, Michigan, getting his first real action of the season.
Now batting number 4, Carter Ferguson.
A quick discussion between Todd Reed and the home plate umpire. Perhaps about the man in the batting order up right now. The fact that it is not pitcher Graham Burke. It's Carter Ferguson. So Ferguson apparently was not in the original lineup. He wasn't on the original lineup card that we were given either. But again, Todd Reed said right from the outset that maybe he'd use a DH instead of the pitcher batting, and that's what he's chosen to do here. Kippen at second, Moonen at first. Tigers trail the Saints 2-0. But a couple of men on base in a critical position in this game. They still don't have a hit. Both men reached on walks. Ferguson takes strike 1 from Kevin Mampy. Laborious second inning for Mampy, who went 1-2-3 on just 9 pitches in the first. No runs allowed this inning, no hits, but a lot more difficult to get out of it. There's a chopper to third. Charging it is Carraro. He fields it cleanly, throws to first, and ends the inning. Nice work, after all, by Kevin Mampy to get out of the jam. He walks 2, but allows no runs. Olivet strands 2. We'll head to the bottom of the second inning, 2-0 St. Francis. balls and 2 strikes on Larson. He takes outside, 1-2. Four 0 St. Francis leads, top of the 3rd inning. And there's a ball outside. It's 2-2. 1 out, nobody on base. First time through the batting order, nearly perfect for Kevin Mampy. He allowed 2 base runners, both of them on walks. He has had some trouble falling behind batters lately, but he's mostly been able to come back to get them. See if the same applies here. Ball in the dirt, 3-2. Larson this season has walked 3 times in 38 plate appearances. Like that, 40 plate appearances for Larson. Trying to coax his way on base with 1 out in the 3rd. Payoff pitch. Strike 3 called over the outside corner. 2 down. 5th strikeout of the game already for Kevin Mampy. And this is the 2nd one he's gotten looking. Back-to-back Ks on the score sheet to start the 3rd. He got the number 9 batter Campbell, leadoff hitter Larson, and now it's R.W. Reno just trying to keep the inning alive.
Number 7, R.W. Reno.
Mampy knows he's got a ways to go here. A big 3rd out as Reno takes ball 1 inside. In the bottom half of the 2nd, Graham Burke likewise got back-to-back hitters out to begin the inning, and then the next 3 men reached, resulting in 2 runs scored. Ball high, 2-0. That ball driven down the right field line, but twisting foul. And it's strike 1 on R.W. Reno. Looked good off the bat, sounded good off the bat. As much as an aluminum bat ping can sound good. But a little bit too much slice to it as it curved down that right field line and dropped in foul territory by about 3 feet or so. 2-1 the count. R.W. Reno still ahead in this battle. And ahead even further now, 3-1. 3rd consecutive batter to see at least a 3-ball count from Kevin Mampy. That ball hit in the air out to right center field and deep. Drifting back on that ball towards the track, Travis Schoonover is able to make the grab just in front of the warning track in deep right center. It is a 1-2-3 inning. Bit of a nerve-wracking inning in some ways, but Mampy is able to get through it without allowing a base runner. Time to go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Our score, St. Francis 4, Olivet Nazarene 0.
Kevin Rada.
St. Francis has picked up a pair of runs in each of their first 2 innings. They'll try to pad their lead here in the 3rd. Kevin Rada, Michael Queeram, Sean Harper due up against Graham Burke, the right-hander who has struggled in the early going. But he may have gotten a break on the first pitch of the third inning as Rada pops it up to shallow right field. Going back and making the catch before stumbling to the ground is the second baseman Nathan Moonen for out number 1. Almost a dangerous play there with Moonen going out and Larson coming in. There was a bit of a collision. Moonen made the grab, holding off Larson. He went to the ground and nearly took out Larson's legs. The two kind of fell on top of one another, but a very low speed collision. Both men are okay. And Michael Quirum is the batter. Quirum is 0 for 1. He struck out looking in the first inning. Quirum shows bunt, pulls the bat back, and takes a breaking ball over the inside corner for strike 1. Next pitch from Burke. Downstairs for a ball, 1-1. Remember, this is just a 7-inning game here. It's a doubleheader between the Fighting Saints and the Tigers. Game 1, 7 innings. Game 2 will go 9. 1-1. Hard grounder, but right at the second baseman. Backhanded stop by Moonen, who throws to first for out number 2. Two up, two down in the third. And Burke looks for his first 1-2-3 inning. Looked like he was in good shape for it in the second when he got Reardon and Carraro to start things off, but then having to go against the top of the order, he stumbled. Gave up a single to Schoonover and a homer to Mahalik with 2 outs. Sean Harper is 0 for 1. He ended the first inning with a ground out to the shortstop, and he takes strike 1 here from Burke. Graham Burke had thrown 49 pitches through the first 2 innings and was just about even in terms of balls and strikes. Well, here in the third inning, that was just his 6th pitch and just his 2nd ball, 1-1. Funny I mentioned he was just about even in terms of balls and strikes, because he didn't have any walks, and he still doesn't have any walks as he falls behind Harper 2-1. He's just been getting into bad counts against just about everybody. 2-1. Flip to the right side and over the glove of the first baseman Jacob Boltheis, a base hit. So that 1-2-3 inning continues to elude Graham Burke. Nice piece of hitting there with 2 outs. And Sean Harper able to turn it inside out and fist it over the right side of the infield. Boltheis lunged for it, but a little bit too tall for him. Drops in front of Larson for the hit. And at first, 2 down for John Reardon. Reardon is a junior, starting at second base. Like Kevin Mampy, who started today's game on the mound, Reardon can both pitch and play the infield. This ball is flown out to right field. Larson takes a step back and makes the grab to end the inning. Despite a 2-out single, St. Francis comes up empty on the scoreboard. We head to the 4th, 4-0, Fighting Saints.
The left fielder, number 13, Curtis Minton.
Olivet Nazarene at the bat to start the fourth inning, trailing 4-0. They'll send their 3, 4, and 5 hitters up, and Curtis Minton bounces one over the pitcher's mound. Led by John Reardon on the hop. Throws to first, 1 pitch, 1 out. 3 of 4 innings in today's game have started with the first pitch out from the Olivet offense. Kevin Mampy really on a roll. He's retired 5 consecutive batters. That's a new game high for him. He walked 2 men in the second inning, but those are the only 2 base runners thus far.
Catcher number 8, Ben Hill.
Ben Hill is 0 for 1. He'll ground it out to second base in the second inning. Nice start to this inning for Mampy's. That ball was hit fairly hard up the middle. John Reardon has covered a lot of ground from second base, though. Ball 1 up and away. That's the second time in the game that Reardon's had to range a good distance to his right and make the play. He was able to do it both times. In fact, Ben Hill was the batter last time around. Hill takes a strike here at the knees. 1-1. 4-0 St. Francis. They scored 2 in the first and 2 in the second. Mampy's 1-1. Inside, ball 2. While Graham Burke has allowed at least 1 base runner in every inning so far, Kevin Mampy has been perfect in 2 of his first 3 innings. But he's behind Hill here. 2-1, fouled away. And now it's back to a pitcher's count. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on base. Sam Kippen waits in the on-deck circle. It's Ben Hill at the dish right now, and Hill is Olivet's leading hitter among players in today's lineup. .358 average this season. He is not an easy out. But Mampy's got him to 2 strikes. We'll see if he can finish him off. Not on that pitch. Outside. Count is full. This is the 7th batter of the game. Make that the 6th batter of the game that Kevin Mampy has gone to 3 balls on. Ball 4. Make that ball 3? No, it is ball 4. I think Ben Hill didn't know the count. He stood in the batter's box for a good long while after drawing that walk. So it was the 6th batter to go to 3 balls against Mampy, and it's the 3rd one who was put on for free. So it's a 1-out walk. And Sam Kippen, who walked his first time up, will come to the plate for the 2nd time. We got a courtesy runner at first base before that happens. Cameron Craver is going to head down to first, and Ben Hill will go back to the dugout and put the catcher's gear back on in preparation for the bottom of the 4th inning.
Now batting, third baseman number 5, Sam Kippen.
Third base runner of the game for Olivet. All of them have come on balls. Kippen, the first one to do so back in the 2nd inning. Stands in for a 2nd time and takes strike 1. Kevin Rada makes a hasty throw down to first base to try to catch Ben Hill off guard, or rather Craver off guard, but no problem for Craver to get right back to the base. 0-1 the count. Pitch from Mampy won't be made. He throws over to first instead, and Craver dives back in safely. Cameron Craver has just 1 stolen base in 3 attempts this year. But the Saints are being very cautious with him. Another throw to first base. Already 3 pickoff throws to first, with just 1 pitch having been made to Sam Kippen. So St. Francis really thinks, despite the 4-run deficit, Craver's going to be going at some point in this at-bat. Strike over the outside corner, an 0-2 count on Kippen. So amidst all the frenzy of throwing to first base and trying to get that runner off the base paths, Mampy's off to a good start and trying to avoid another base runner as Kippen falls behind. No balls and 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on in the top of the 4th. And before the next pitch, he'll throw to first base again. Now the 0-2, outside for a ball, and Rada again looks Craver back to first. Well, it may just be that Saints are being careful because Mampy and Rada have not been terribly successful in stopping the running game when opportunities have arisen. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. 2 down, 6 strikeouts for Kevin Mampy. And a big second out with a man on base. Craver is not advanced in any way. Here's Jacob Bultice.
First baseman, number 25, Jacob Bultice.
First pitch to Bultice is taken for a strike. Sam Kippen was on first base back in the second inning. He stole second easily. Not even a throw made down to second. The only other real chance that Olivet had to steal before now. Mampy throws to first base again to check on Cameron Craver. 4-0 St. Francis leads in the top of the 4th inning. In good shape in this game, the way that Mampy has been pitching. 5 hits to none at the moment. That ball is popped up, foul territory right side and out of play. It's 0-2. Because of the bad weather yesterday, this doubleheader may prove to be the only time these two teams match up this season. Figures to be a big doubleheader, considering how close they are in the conference standings. Ball in the dirt, good block by Rada, keeping Craver over at first base. And the count is 1-2. Moonen stands on deck. He'll bat, though, only if Bultice can reach base. Easier said than done against Mampy today. Fouled back off the screen. Mampy stares in at Rada. Gets the sign for the 1-2 pitch and sets. Here it comes. Runner goes. Swung on, driven deep left field. Backing up is Harper. Harper's at the track. He has room, and he makes the catch. Bultice put a little scare into Mampy and the Saints there. But Harper is able to pull it in just feet in front of the wall. Top of the 4th is all over. Olivet gets a walk, but no runs. They leave a man at first. Halfway through this game, St. Francis 4, Olivet nothing.
Number 3, Carraro.
St. Francis leads Olivet 4-0 as Noah Carraro leads off the bottom of the 4th. Carraro, Schoonover, and Mahalik due to hit this inning against Graham Burke, who settled in nicely in the 3rd after getting roughed up in the first 2 innings. Ball 1 high to Carraro. Gone through stretches in this game where he's looked really good, and he's gone through stretches where he's struggled. In reference to Burke, the 1-0. Downstairs, 2-0. First 4 batters of the game all reached against him. Then he retired 5 in a row. 3 straight men reached, and since then, he's gotten 4 out of 5. Strike called, 2-1. It's not the way you want to do it as a pitcher. Anytime you string those hits together, going to give up some runs, and that's what's happened today. That ball hit out to left field, backing up Minton, but he makes the grab for out number 1. Ferraro 0 for 2. He has flown out to each corner outfielder. Here's Travis Schoonover. Schoonover reached on a 2-base error back in the first inning when Curtis Minton misplayed a routine pop-up. Ended up scoring on a Kevin Manty double later in the inning. And his second time up, Schoonover hit a sharp single to left. Top 3 batters in the order today have come up 6 times and reached a combined 6 times. Schoonover trying to keep that stretch rolling against Graham Burke. First pitch, Travis takes outside for ball 1. Graham Burke is a freshman out of Victoria, Minnesota. Right-hander who's had mixed success this season. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Solid record of 5-3, but his ERA a little bit higher than he'd like it to be at 5.30. He's only given up 2 earned runs today in 3 1/3 innings, 4 runs total, but half of them came thanks to errors. Ball outside, 2-1. Popped up foul to the left side and out of play, 2-2. One out, nobody on, 2-2 pitch. Schoonover takes a ball outside. Full count. Burke trying to avoid his first walk of the game, but he can't do it. In the dirt, Schoonover reaches for the 3rd time today. And he's done it every which way. An error, a walk, and a hit. Burke continues to struggle at the top of the order. Top 3 batters have now reached 7 consecutive times. Here's Pat Mahalik. Mahalik homered to right field his last time up after dropping down a bunt and then reaching on an error in the first. Strike over the outside corner, 0-1. Schoonover's at first with the first walk of the game from Graham Burke, but he also did hit 1 batter. So it's the second free pass issued. 1 on, 1 out. Wind still howling out to right field. That helped Mahalik out his last time up when he hit that homer, his 3rd of the year. This time he jumps on the pitch high and out of the strike zone and whacks it foul behind him. Strike 2. Four runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Saints. No runs, no hits, 2 errors for the Tigers. We're in the bottom of the 4th of a 7-inning game. Game 2, which will be 9 innings, will commence about a half hour after the completion of this first game. First game moving at a slower pace here than you might expect on a day like this. Right-hander to left-hander, the 0-2. Runner goes, the pitch is outside and to the backstop. Gets away from Ben Hill. Schoonover takes a turnaround second. He will not advance to 3rd base, but he has himself a steal. And for Travis Schoonover, that's number 7 this season in 9 attempts. 1-2 on Mahalik, and he picked a good pitch to run on. Breaking ball that sailed to the backstop. It will not go as a wild pitch because he was running with the pitch, so Schoonover gets credit for the steal. He's in scoring position with only 1 out. And a 1-2 count on Mahalik. Ripped down the right field line, but foul. Still 1-2. Burke had a pretty easy 3rd inning. He allowed 1 hit, but it was just a single. And got 2 of his 3 outs on just 1 pitch. So a really nice job settling down after a couple of tough innings in which he threw 49 total pitches in the 1st and 2nd. Swing and a miss. Mahalik chases one upstairs, and there's strike 3. 2 down in the inning. 4th strikeout of the game for Graham Burke. And at a big time with a man in scoring position and fewer than 2 outs. And now a chance to put an end to this inning once and for all, facing Kevin Mampy. Mampy has not allowed a hit or a run through 4 innings. And he's got 2 hits and 2 RBIs at the plate. You might call this a pretty good game for him so far. Ball 1, high and outside. Burke working his way through this thing. Has not had his best control. Has been hit around a little bit. But he's allowed just 2 earned runs through 3 2/3 innings so far. The Saints do have 5 hits. 3 of them came consecutively back in the 2nd inning. 2 of the 5 hits belong to the man in the box right now. Looking for number 3 of the day. He pops it up to shallow left field. Curtis Minton comes in. Left center. Minton makes a running grab. Inning over. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left. We'll head to the 5th. 4-0, St. Francis. Nathan Moonen leads off the top of the 5th for the trailing Olivet Nazarene Tigers. 4-0 our score. Moonen trying to start a rally here against Mampy. He lines one off the glove of the 3rd baseman, Noah Carraro, into left field. That's a base hit. Hard struck ball there by Moonen, and it did hit off the glove of Carraro, but that's a no-doubter hit rather than an error. He was only 4 innings into it, but in a 7-inning game, I'm sure Kevin Mampy had it in his head that he hadn't given up a hit yet in the game, so that one stings a little bit to see that sharp base hit off the bat of Moonen.
Designated hitter number 4, Carter Ferguson.
But back to work as Saints still lead 4-0. As Carter Ferguson stands in, double play is in effect. First time in the game that Olivet has had their leadoff man on. It's the 4th base runner in total. First hit to go along with 3 walks. First pitch to Moonen, or rather to Ferguson, is over the inside corner for strike 1. That base hit for Moonen to start this inning was also the 4th time in 5 innings that Olivet has put the ball in play on the first pitch of the inning. In the 1st, 2nd, and 4th innings, Tigers swung at the first pitch and were put out. Strike call, 0-2. Top half of the 5th inning, game 1 of a doubleheader. St. Francis trying to pick up their 9th victory of the conference season. Here's the 0-2, not yet. Mampy steps off the rubber and looks Nathan Moonen back to first base. Although it wasn't initially scheduled this way, this is the 2nd consecutive home game for the Fighting Saints. I guess what you could call a long homestand. Strike 3 called over the outside corner. Carter Ferguson goes down looking. He's 0 for 2 on the day, and there's 1 out in the 5th inning. Mampy is now a ground ball away from potentially ending this 5th. On the schedule as it looks right now, 7 consecutive home games for the Fighting Saints. They were supposed to be on the road yesterday at Olivet Nazarene. That's not happening. Ball inside, 1-0 on Campbell. Should say that didn't happen. It already failed to occur. That game yesterday was postponed because of the bad weather. Next home games will be on Wednesday. We'll make that Tuesday, April 10th. And those will be back over at Joliet Junior College before next Saturday. They're here again. Ground ball to short. Picked up cleanly by Quirum. He flips to Reardon for the force. That ball hits softly off the bat of Ryan Campbell. No chance to turn 2. It's a 6-4 fielder's choice. 2 outs and a man on first. We're back to the top of the order.
Right fielder, number 29, Thomas Larson.
Thomas Larson came on in place of the injured Tanner McLean back in the bottom of the 1st inning. So Larson's been playing right field ever since. At the plate, he's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Strike 1 called. Larson has struck out 9 times in 41 plate appearances this year. And he finds himself behind in the count again here. The count is 0-2. Mampy looking for a quick 5th inning. Despite giving up his first hit of the game, a single on the first pitch, he can get through the rest of the frame in short order with a strike here, and that's exactly what he's got. Swing and a miss from Thomas Larson, strike 3. It's the 2nd strikeout of the inning. And now 8 in the game for Kevin Mampy, who pitches around the leadoff base hit and doesn't allow a thing. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning. St. Francis trying to add to their lead. They're up on Olivet 4-0. Good start for St. Francis today as they scored 2 runs in the 1st inning and 2 runs in the 2nd to jump out to an early 4-0 lead. Credit to Graham Burke since then. He's slowed things down. Still hasn't had a perfect inning yet, but he's got 2 straight zeros on the board, and he's looking for a 3rd against the middle of the Saints order here in the bottom of the 5th. Anthony Farron leads things off and takes ball 1 high. Farron, Rada Quirum due to bat in the bottom of the 5th. Anthony's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He was hit by a pitch his first time up, so yet to put a ball in play. Ball inside, 2-0. Farron entered today's action with a .343 batting average. Trying to start off a run-scoring rally in the bottom of the fifth. He takes a strike over the inside corner. Count is 2-1. Next pitch, swung on and missed. Good heater from the freshman Burke. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Saints have 5 hits in the game. They've had 9 total base runners through just 4 innings of offense. Fouled away, still 2-2. Along with those 4 runs scored, they've left 5 men on base. They have generally done a good job of maximizing their opportunities, though. In the first inning, they scored their 2 runs thanks to 4 consecutive base runners. Ball in the dirt, full count. In the second inning, they had 3 straight base runners, all with 2 outs, so only the first 2 really mattered for the score. Schoonover single and Mahalik homer. Full count on Anthony Farron. Burke has issued just 1 walk in the game. He was ahead of Farron 1-2. Farron hits it in the air, right center field. Larson and Reno going back. It'll be Thomas Larson, the right fielder, drifting near the track and making the catch. Solid contact there from Farron, but he lifted a little bit too high. Got under it. Not able to turn it into an extra base hit. Instead, it's out number 1. Leadoff man is retired for the 4th time in 5 innings. In fact, the 4th in a row. Here's Kevin Rada, the catcher. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout today. He's also popped out to second base. Chases 1 in the dirt for strike 1. Rada making his 30th start behind the plate this season. The 0-1. Chopped foul on third base line, 0-2. Graham Burke's got an interesting delivery. Takes his initial step back and he freezes there for an extra second or 2 before going back into the motion and delivering the pitch. He even starts at a bit of an odd angle. An odd angle, I should say. Not sure exactly what an angler is. There's a ground ball at third, knocked down by Kippen. He gathers, throws to first wild, but the tag is applied for the out. Nice work by Jacob Boltai. Sam Kippen not at his best on that play. He knocked the ball down, really did all he needed to from that angle. It was a hard hit grounder. Would not necessarily have been an easy play to just scoop up with the glove. So he played it off his chest, but he kept the ball in front of him. And had time to make an accurate throw to first base, but it seemed like he panicked a little bit. Threw quickly and wild, but Boltais bailed him out with a nice grab and a tag on Rada, who was going by. 2 down. Ball 1 inside on Michael Quirum, who's 0 for 2. Quirum has struck out and grounded out. And if he can't reach base here, Graham Burke, who seemingly has gotten better as this game has gone on, will have his first 1-2-3 inning of the night. Ball high, 2-0. There's a swing and a miss. Burke blows a fastball by him. 2 balls and 1 strike, 2 outs. Nobody on base. St. Francis holds that 4-0 lead that they've possessed ever since the second inning. Swing and a miss. Quirum can't catch up again. It's 2-2. Ball 3 high, 3-2 the count on Quirum. Burke started him out 2-0. Got himself back into the at-bat with a couple of strikes, but now it's full. 2 outs, no one on base. Burke trying to end the 5th inning and the Michael Quirum at bat. Popped up foul right side. That's going to stay in play. Is it catchable? No, it is not. Or at least it is not caught. Whether or not it was catchable is not for me to say. Ben Hill, Jacob Boltais, the catcher and first baseman respectively, both chased it. It landed pretty much exactly between the 2 of them. 16 pitches already this inning for Graham Burke. Quite a few when you consider how many base runners he's allowed today. This is his chance at a 1-2-3 frame, but even if he gets it, it will not have come easily. Here's the 17th pitch of the inning. It's outside for ball 4. So Burke's still without a 1-2-3 inning. He is not, however, without a walk. He's got 2 of them in the game. Sean Harper to the plate. Harper is 1 for 2. He has singled and grounded out to short. Diving back to first base, Quirum. Saints are a team that steals a fair amount of bases. Schoonover and Mampy, though, are the ones who usually go. The 2 of them have 13 of the team's combined 32. As for Michael Quirum, just 1 attempt. It was successful, should be noted. Ball outside on Sean Harper. He had 2 straight outs, but that third one just has not been easy to come by for Graham Burke. 1-0 pitch. Gets away from Ben Hill. Quirum advances to second base. The count is 2-0. We'll see if that goes as a wild pitch or a passed ball. Really could go either way. Pitch was off the mark, but it did hit the glove of Ben Hill. Had a chance to pull it in, couldn't do it. So it's 2 balls, no strikes on Harper, and Quirum now at second base. Good hitter's count here for Harper. Ground ball to the left side, picked up by the third baseman Kippen. His throw to first is on the money. The inning comes to a close. Burke pitches around the 2-out walk to Quirum and leaves him at second base. We'll head to the 6th. 2 innings still to play here in game 1 of this afternoon's doubleheader. Our score: St. Francis 4, Olivet Nazarene nothing.
No runs, no hits, no errors.
Top 6, Olivet Nazarene at the bat. They're trailing by 4, down to their final 6 outs. It's R.W. Reno leading off the inning and swinging through strike 1. Kevin Mampy's been dominant today. Just the second time in 6 innings, by the way, that the first pitch has not been put into play by Olivet. But the second pitch is. It's grounded right at John Reardon. Second baseman throws over to first, an easy 4-3 putout. Mampy has allowed just 1 hit, 4 total base runners. He did walk 3 batters in the first 4 frames. That's really his only hiccup today. The lone hit he allowed was on the first pitch of the 5th inning. Moonen hit a sharp line drive to the left side. Very tough play for the third baseman, Noah Carraro, but he did get his glove on it, just off the tip of the mitt. Ricocheted out into left field for the only knock of the game so far for the Tigers. Here's Curtis Minton taking ball 1 low. Minton is 0 for 2. He went down on strikes, looking in the first inning. One of 8 strikeout victims of Kevin Mampy today. grounded out to John Reardon at second base his last time up. Here he takes a strike. The count is 1-1. Not only has Kevin Mampy come up with 8 strikeouts in the game, but he's gotten 7 different batters. Ground ball to the right side. Another chance for Reardon. Second baseman gloves, throws, 2 down. The only man to strike out twice in the game has been Thomas Larson. Came off the bench for the injured Tanner McLean back in the first inning and has struck out in his only 2 plate appearances. Everybody else, though, Mampy has gotten once each. Ben Hill in the box right now. One of only 3 players in today's game not to have struck out. He walked in the 4th and grounded out his first time up back in the 2nd inning. Strike call. 0-1. Mampy's shortest inning of the game is 9 pitches. He's done that twice. Once in the first inning, and then oddly enough, he did it in the 5th, which is the only inning in which he's given up a hit in this game. That ball hit in the air, deep left field. Long run back, Sean Harper still on the run. Harper dives. Did he get it? Yes, he did. Great catch. Sean Harper laying out in left center field and pulling that ball in, securing another 1-2-3 inning. Great work by Harper. More great work by Kevin Mampy as he sets the side down in order, this time on just 7 pitches. We're headed for the bottom of the 6th. 4-0 St. Francis. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning, and St. Francis holds a 4-0 lead over Olivet Nazarene. New pitcher for the Tigers, Mason Madalinski. On for the 7th time, all in relief. He has no record, 5.40 ERA. In 10 innings pitched, he's allowed 13 runs, 6 of them earned, on 17 hits, 10 strikeouts, 3 walks. Opponents are batting .347 against Madalinski this year. He faces John Reardon and fires a strike. Reardon, Carraro, Schoonover due up this inning. Starter Graham Burke went 5 innings. He allowed 4 runs, but only 2 of them earned on 5 hits, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks through 94 total pitches. Reardon takes a ball high, 1-1. High pop up down the right field line. Larson shields his eyes from the sun into foul ground. Can't make the play. Lands on the concourse just outside the playing field. Goes as a strike on Reardon, 1-2. John Reardon's flown out twice today. Once to right and once to center. Still looking for his first hit. Junior infielder John Reardon came in hitting .222. Also got 3 wins as a starting pitcher this season. Ball high, 2-2. Madalinsky, the big right-hander, winds and fires. Misses low. Count is full. Graham Burke hung in there for 5 innings. For a while, it didn't look like he was going to make it that far. Threw 49 pitches in just the first 2 frames. He had given up 4 runs during that time on 4 hits. High fly, right field. Again, it's foul. Again, Larson chases, and again, he's out of room. Still 3-2. Burke, in his final 3 innings, allowed no runs and just 1 hit. So he settled in pretty well. Strike 3 called over the inside corner. Reardon thought it was ball 4 inside, but he is out number 1 as Madalinsky picks up the early strikeout. Brings up Noah Carraro.
Third baseman number 3, Carraro.
Carraro 0 for 2. He's flown out to right and a left. Infielder using the yellow bat, waggling it around, drops down a bunt. It's just in front of home plate. A pretty easy play for Ben Hill, who throws on over to first for the second out. Really never an easy play for a catcher because it's such a tough angle to throw to first from.
Right fielder number 3.
But that ball died just a foot in front of home plate.
Schoonover.
So Hill really did not have to work hard to grab that ball. He had plenty of time to throw to first base. Travis Schoonover takes strike 1. Schoonover has not been retired today. Doubled in the first inning. Scored on a Kevin Mampy 2-base hit. Singled in the second. Scored on a Pat Mahalik 4-bagger. He walked his last time up, but this time he grounds it harmlessly to first. Jacob Bultice picks it up, steps on the bag, and for the first time all day, the Saints are retired in order. We'll head to the 7th. Last chance coming up for Olivet Nazarene. Our score is St. Francis 4, Olivet nothing. We're in the 7th. Saints are 3 outs away from a victory.
Number 5,
Kevin
Sam
Mampy
Kippen.
throws his first pitch of the inning, and Sam Kippen lofts it into shallow right field. Coming in and making the grab is Travis Schoonover. 1 up, 1 down. And again, first pitch of the inning put into play. 5 out of 7 innings that has been the case. And in the 6th, it happened on the second pitch. Kevin Mampy has allowed just 1 hit all game. It was a single to Nathan Moonen, leading off the top of the 5th inning. Moonen is on deck right now and hoping to bat with a man on base because Jacob Bultice is up right now. 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. Swing and a miss. Mampy still bringing it here in the 7th inning, and why not? He's had a pretty easy go of it the last few frames. Still under 80 pitches for the game, including just 9 in the 5th and only 7 pitches in the 6th inning, which turned out to be his 3rd perfect frame of the game. Strike over the outside corner. It's 0-2. Mampy has 8 strikeouts in the ball game today. He's walked 3. But again, the lone hit was a single in the 5th. Strike 3 called on Boltice, 2 down. There's the 9th strikeout of the game for Mampy. He has now retired the last 7 men, make that 8 men consecutively. That's a game high for him. Last man to reach was Nathan Moonen on a single in the 5th inning, and Moonen bats now, the last hope for the Tigers in this game. He swings and loops it out to right center field for a hit. Moonen now 2 for 3 on the ball game, the only man with a hit for Olivet Nazarene. He's actually 2 for 2 in the ball game. He walked back in the 2nd inning. One of only 2 players who have been out there the whole game for Olivet Nazarene not to have struck out, and naturally the only man not to have been retired. So he's on first. Still a 4-run lead for St. Francis and still just 1 out away from ending the game. Batter is Carter Ferguson, and Ferguson takes strike 1. Ferguson is the DH. He's grounded out and struck out. Freshman from Michigan. Getting the rare start today. He takes the ball low, 1-1. Mampy trying to wrap up what would be his 4th complete game of the year. Check that, his 3rd complete game of the year. In 9 total starts, came in with a 6 ERA. Obviously capable of better things, and today he's showing it. Strike over the inside corner. Olivet down to their final swing. Mampy's ERA below 4 as both a sophomore and a junior. This year he's been getting it done with the bat, but not as much on the mound. But that has changed today. He's been brilliant. And 1 strike away from finishing off the Olivet Nazarene Tigers. Here comes the 1-2. Ground ball right back to Mampy. The pitcher gloves it, flips underhand to first base, and there's your ball game. St. Francis defeats Olivet Nazarene by a 4-0 final in Game 1 of a doubleheader. This one just a 7-inning contest. We'll be back in a little bit for the 9-inning version, and the Saints will be looking for a sweep after an impressive victory here in the first game. They improved to 15-17 overall for the season, now 9-4 in conference. Olivet Nazarene falls to 17-14. They drop to 7-5 in CCAC play. Again, a quick recap of the runs scored in this game. It began pretty quickly for St. Francis. Travis Schoonover and Pat Mahalik began the inning by reaching on back-to-back errors. They were at the corners with nobody out. Kevin Mampy drove them both in on a double. Following inning with 2 outs and nobody on, Schoonover singled and Mahalik homered to make it 4-0. And although the Saints had some chances later in the game, they would not cross the plate again. They didn't need to because Kevin Mampy was outstanding. He walked 2 batters in the 2nd and 1 in the 4th. But through the first 4 innings, those are the only base runners for Olivet. Nathan Moonen finally broke up the no-hitter in the 5th inning with a single off the glove of Noah Carraro to left field, leading off that 5th inning. But he was ultimately caught out at second base on a fielder's choice, and Olivet did not get a runner to second base in the inning. They only had 1 runner make it as far as second base in the entire game. Moonen picked up his 2nd hit and the team's 2nd hit, a bloop single in the 7th inning. That was the offense for Olivet Nazarene in this first game. Kevin Mampy picks up the victory. He improves on the season to 4-3. He went the entire way, struck out 9, walked 3, and allowed just 2 hits. No runs, of course, given up by Mampy. The losing pitcher, falling to 5-4 on the season, is Graham Burke. Burke went 5 innings. He allowed 4 runs, but only 2 of them earned on 5 hits. He struck out 4 and walked 2. Final totals: Tigers, no runs, 2 hits, 2 errors. The Saints, 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors. And the Saints pick up the 4-0 victory. I'm going to sign off for now because we're going to take a break here for about a half hour or so, but stick around because sometime before 3:30 we'll have the start of Game 2 of this doubleheader. Game 2 will run 9 innings and the Saints will be looking for a twin bill sweep. So stick around because that is still to come. But right now, as I said, I will sign off. More St. Francis baseball coming up later today. Join me for that, won't you?